All right, Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makah HaKodash. Double honors to elder apostles, the great millstone, do it well. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect, scattered throughout the body, wherever you may be. All right, and again, blessings to you, brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence to make your call and election sure, and making your bodies a living sacrifice. All right, an acceptable offering in the sight of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, let's get right into it. It's oilprice.com. This was posted today, probably about an hour or two ago. And it says global economy is one oil price spike away from trouble. Oil inventories are being rapidly depleted as 10 to 14 million barrels of Middle Eastern supply remains offline, prompting warning from Chevron, Exxon, IEA, and major banks of looming supply crunch. This is coming from these big oil companies, all right? Fuel companies, gas, so on and so forth, that a supply crunch is coming. Shortages, okay? And if you can find a fuel, it's going to be expensive. All right, so that's the times we're coming into. It says markets may be estimating the risk, with traders betting on Hormuz reopening, even if physical oil stocks approach critical low levels and tanker traffic remains disrupted. A prolonged disruption could trigger a sharp price spike, forcing either higher fuel costs or demand destructions, with analysts warning of broader economic damage if inventories continue to fall through July. So they say around about July, August, really is, when you're going to see that, shit hit the fan, so to say, with these prices in the supply crunch. And just a day or two ago, Iran and Israel broke the ceasefire. Okay? So the strait is closed. Just currently, the ceasefire has been broken. And they back up again, man. So, it's not going to be any peace. All right? The scriptures speak about they shall seek peace and it shall not be none. This man is on the Lord's time. So he has to continue to push forward with his new world order agenda. Okay? Which is total control by the way of his technology, which is spoken about in the prophecies, Revelation 13th chapter, the 16th verse. All right, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. And by the way, these different crises, okay, they could bring about the order, a new digital system as this, all right, crisis. Then you got, I just saw recently the Ebola, 500 cases. I saw that from RT. You know how the numbers vary, all right, throughout different media outlets, but that's coming. So, everything is coming together, so to say. This oil price began this week with a jump following the latest flare-up of hostilities in the Middle East, this time between Iran and Israel. This is worse news for the global economy than it would have been a month ago. The world's oil reserves are starting to run dry and nothing is replenishing them. So here it is, they're running on empty. Everybody's running through their reserves. So your local gas stations, again, if there is fuel there, it's going to be very expensive. All right. They talking about things projected $8 to $10 a gallon for regular. So, we in those times, man. It says warnings are multiplying that the world is facing an unprecedented squeeze on oil supplies, and prices are about to surge much higher. So I believe it topped out at topped out down here in Florida like $4.50 something. All right, I think it was like $4.50s averagely across the country, and that's a lot, man, for regular. It says the latest to join the growing chorus of warnings were Chevron and Exxon, adding to earlier alarm bell ringing by the International Energy Agency. Various analysts, i.e., says the breaking point around July or August. Exxon senior VP Neil Chapman sees this point reached in early July or even before that. So you see it coming, and when oil goes up, the price of everything else goes up. And I just simply typed in effects of an energy crisis. So you get the AI overview. It says the energy crisis triggers severe macroeconomic and daily disruptions, including soaring utility bills, which, I've seen my light bill. My light bill went up, I don't know the percentage, but it was averaging about 200. Now it basically broke that threshold. It's about at like 240, 250 now. Okay. It says supply chain bottlenecks. So soaring utility bills, widespread inflation. So again, the cost of everything goes up, and you see Walmart and other stores have been have prepared themselves for the rapid price changing, aka hyperinflation, where it's digital now. You don't have to print the price tags and manually print them and then put them on a shelf. It's just gonna change digitally with the system. All right. It says in supply chain bottlenecks. So supply is gonna be tight. You're not gonna be able to get them as easily if you're able to get them. It says forces energy rationing or rolling blackouts. So rationing, and you see it already happening best, especially in amongst the Asian countries, which the Middle East, all that is Asia. All right, Europe, that's Eurasia, that's Asia. All right, and you got North Asia, Russia. All right, and you got East Asia. So that's that whole concept. That whole thing over there is Asia. Well, you see it happening amongst the Asians, so to say, the energy rationings. All right, so rolling blackouts, and you can guarantee that's gonna happen over here in America, especially with those data centers, right? That's taking all that energy. Hampers industrial output and raises food prices due to high fertilizer and transportation costs, and that's what they were concerned about, the fertilizer leaving out of the Middle East. So a global famine is coming, man. All right, the Lord is about to bring famine upon the whole planet, and it's going to be really bad over here in America. All right, it says the primary effects of an energy crisis manifest across several key areas. Utilities. All right, soaring utility bills. Household face drastic hikes in electricity, natural gas, and heating oil costs. Shrinking disposable income. All right, yes, all your little savings you got, is basically being exhausted because of utilities and everything going up. Expensive transportation, spikes in petroleum translate to expensive gasoline and diesel, straining personal budgets and public transit systems. All right, so this is making the people broke, man. This is the second time in the second example where I use basically what the first one said, shrinking disposable income. Then the second example said straining personal budgets. See there? Cost of living crisis, and this is what everybody is crying about. Inflationary pressure erodes purchasing power, forcing lower income groups to make tough choices between energy and food. And that's the time we're coming into. And this look, they say this ain't we ain't just making this stuff up, or what they say, fear mongering. This is what happens in the energy crisis, and that's what's all right being said. There's an energy crisis coming. So just that alone, you just won't have the fuel to go anywhere. Just by default, you locked down. Right? You ain't traveling. You seen how a couple months ago the Spirit Airlines shut down, and that was like the budget, the cheap. You want to fly for cheap. All right, so only the rich, the super rich, will be able to travel. All right, because they'll be the only ones able to afford it. It's that simple. All right. Where else did I want to go to? All right, I wanted to get 2nd Ezra 16. All right. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon," and that's America, and Asia, that consists of Eurasia, Europe, the Middle East, all right, China, Thailand, all that over there, Russia, Eurasia, Iran, that's all Asia, okay? That whole region over there, it says, "But unto thee, Egypt and Syria, gird up yourselves with claws of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." Because all these nations, ultimately, because Israel and Iran, that's World War III. They're going to be drawn over there, all their armies. They're going to have to send their armies over there to the Middle East. And the Lord's going to destroy them, man. As their elites, the heads of these nations, as they go into the NWO, where everything is digital. They all with the CBDC. All nations are with the central bank digital currencies. So, hey, man, at the same time, there's a war going on. It says, "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?" And that's the missiles, the nations shooting missiles from one continent to another. All right, ultimately World War III. That's how World War III will end, by the way of the missiles. It says, "Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may any quench the fire and stubble when it hath begun to burn?" So why? Because it's out of control at that point. All right, and that's what's going to happen. This war, all this chaos, is going to get out of control. Because right now it's being orchestrated. Right, the elites are. It's like a controlled demolition. They're collapsing the society. All right, crashing the global markets. But it's going to get to a point where, as it says, "Or may one quench the fire and stubble when it hath begun to burn." It's like a whole field of hay, so to say. You know, you light it up and you heard it blow something out before it gets too big. Well, using that analogy, once you light it, it's just gonna flare up, and it's gonna be out of your control. You're not gonna be able to blow it out. All right. It says, "The mighty Lord," and why? It says, verse 7 says, "May one turn again the arrow that is shot from a strong archer." Verse 8 is the point. "The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?" Because ultimately, all these nations, and I'm starting to hear what the brother from GMS Kingdom Mind have been said, the elder out there. They only can go in a direction of prophecy. Right, so all these things they're doing is all leading them. They're bound to the prophecies. Okay, so it's ultimately the Lord that's setting all this up, and they're in His hands, man. They only can go one direction. All right, it says, "The fire shall go forth from His wrath, and who is he that may quench it?" Okay, it says, "He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at His presence?" Because when He returns with those chariots, the Lord's going to be using what they call laser warfare, man. The laser beams going to be coming out of those ships, just like how you see in the movies. All right? But even a million times more intense than that. All right? It says, "The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof, and the sea rises up with waves from the deep," because that's the missiles pelting this place, man. I was just watching a short on controlled demolitions, and the way that those infrastructure, those buildings will hit the ground, it made like a loud noise, man, and the ground shook. So just imagine how the effects of the missiles when they hit the earth, man. The Lord is about to literally shake the planet Earth. And that's why the waves from the deep and the waves of it are troubled. And the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of His power. Okay? It says, "For strong is His right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that He shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot." into the ends of the world, and that's the missiles. All right, you can't shoot a bow and arrow from one end of the world to another. So when the prophets saw those missiles, Ezra compared it to arrows. All right. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth." So it has a purpose, right? Until it's done, until the job is done. That fire going to burn by the way the missiles, ultimately fulfilling the prophecies, fulfilling the words of the prophets, where Babylon, aka America, will become a complete desolation, man. No root, no nothing shall be left. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And you can see the expression. He was afraid, man. All right, because he saw the judgment, the fear. He had to fear the Lord on him. Hey, but we know who's going to deliver us. Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. All right, because as Ezra saw the destruction, he also saw the salvation as well. It says, beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And that's what this was going to bring. Okay? A lot of people, they about to delete a lot of people, man. You know, and jeez, when you look at, you look at the, just like this picture right here, you in traffic and you just see just so many people, billions of people, and they plan on deleting billions of them, man. Remember to maintain population under 500 million. All right. So, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Okay. And trust in the Lord, because the Lord prophesied of it. The Lord said that these things will come. Okay. So this is really just an exhortation. All right. So we almost out of here. They saying energy crisis, July, August. It's another month or two. And we already in the first week. Passing the first week of June pretty fast, man. 1 week is down. Just that fast. Let's get this. Because we almost out of here, man. Lord willing, very soon. St. Matthew's 24 and 42. Because right now, everybody is doing what they love, man. Whatever's on their heart, whatever it is that they truly desire, that's what people are in tuned in. So we, the watchmen, the scriptures say, who love, that love the coming of the Lord. That's what we doing. That's what we indulge in. Now, that's where our energy is going towards, man. I'll get right to the point. St. Matthew 24 and 42. Watch, therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. Okay? So we watching. And things are moving fast. Things are moving fast. And remember, when you speak about the act of T-ism, right? Those are events that just pop up out of nowhere, that scares the people, that shocks the people. All right, they're gonna come fast, and they're gonna come hard with this new world order. I remember the elders would always quote it. One of the new world order slogans is "Expect no mercy, man." Expect no mercy. You're gonna, once the lights go out, which that they're gonna do that. They're gonna cut the lights out, kill the internet, all that stuff. You ain't gonna be able to record and report what's going on. You just gonna be like communists, North Korea, China, Russia, where you ain't gonna have access to the internet, man. And they gonna do whatever it is they do when the lights go out. No media report, nobody to come save you. But the elect, right? They're gonna have a refuge. St. Matthew's 12 and 1, and at that time, and we we're in that time, man. It just hasn't got to its full extent yet. This place is America's over with. Okay, it's done. That's it. You know, all the freedoms, and I remember it was time I was seeing at that time. It was like you can just go out and you feel like you could just make money. Like it, you know, the money was just on the table. You just go out. You just had to go out and slave to get it. Now, shit, everything's so tight, and you feel that it's over with, man. That's it. That's it. The average person graduating from high school back in the day was able to get go get a job at the local retail store, whatever the case may be, or you know, a fast food spot, and was able to get an apartment and pay rent. You know, imagine that. These kids are done, man. These kids are finished. There's no hope. Is it? So at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such was never since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So, the Lord's going to deliver his elect. Again, you know, those that's been here enduring unto the end, continue to fight, you know, stay strong. And the Lord is he's not about to, he's doing what he said he was going to do. So our only a hope is salvation, man. You know, we did the best we could do. We believed in Yahweh Shai, so we got to go into this time of Jacob's trouble, trusting in the Most High that he's going to make good on his word and deliver us, man, because it's the road is about to get rough, but Yahweh Shai is going to be with us. So with that, you know, giving all praise to Yahweh Shai. Till next time, I say Shalom.